In this video, I'll show you the exact conversation process that me and my clients have been using for the past couple of months. And I can proudly say that in the market right now, in the coaching and the agency space, this is one of the best processes that you've ever come across. Let me show you a couple of examples. I got you 6 pictures just to show you that it's actually true. These are from my clients. Let's start with Michael. I've got majority of it fixed. We've gone on and booked 21 appointments in the first few days, 10 of those yesterday. They booked 10 meetings in a single day using this process. Let's go to Matt. I booked a call with him anyway. So far, I booked 2 calls from Instagram lead gen, 1 call is from the ad, and I booked 1 call from LinkedIn. 2 calls today, 2 calls tomorrow. They booked 4 meetings in a single day after we hopped off a call, where I explained them the exact appointment setting process that I'm going to talk about right now. Matt, we hopped on a call, I explained him the process. Next day, he booked an appointment and he closed the client for 7.5K, 2K cash collected. This picture is one of my client's setters. So a setter sent me this picture. He sent out 70 messages. He got 11 responses. And from those 11 responses, he booked in 1 meeting. So from the 15% response rate, 10% is a booked appointment. Here's Riley. He's getting a follower for less than $1 with his ad that we set up with him, and all of them are qualified. If he spends $100, he's gonna get 100 qualified followers, and he gets a 25% reply rate to the DMs. That means if he spends $100, he's gonna get 25 qualified conversations. From that, he can book in at least minimum 5 calls from that 25 conversations. So that means that he books in a meeting for about $20. Completely insane. Here's Giovanni. Basically, we just hopped on a call, explained the process, and right after we left the call, he said that it was insane. We're gonna get to 20, 30K ASAP. Since then, he closed a couple of clients, but I didn't get those pictures. Okay, so what you see here is the complete conversation breakdown. We have some openers, offer explanations, questions for the prospects, questions from the prospects, and the answers to those questions from the prospects. The reason why this is really good is if you leverage these samples, basically, you can make your setter's life way easier, because your setter doesn't have to think about what openers does he have to use. He doesn't have to think about what explanations he have to come up with. He just comes to the Lucy chart, copies one of the explanations, sends it to the client or sends it to the prospect. Same thing. What questions does he need to ask? He needs to ask about the offer, about the processes that they are using, the amount of sales cards they are booking, their closing rate. So everything is written down here, so he doesn't have to think about what's the next step in the conversation, because everything's here. Same thing. These are the possible questions that he's going to get from the prospect, and here are the answers to all of these questions. So he doesn't have to think, okay, how are you getting 100 appointments? Oh, let me think. No, you don't have to think. It's right there. You just copy paste it, send it to the prospect. That's it. Same thing, follow-ups. What follow-ups does he need to use? Before booking, before sending them the booking link, and after sending them the booking link. And the same thing, we have these follow-up sequence. This is what you send. This is the follow-up that you send after the opener. Have you received my previous message? This is the first follow-up. So you send them a message, they don't reply, and this is the first follow-up you send. Still with me, name? Still with me, Robert? Still with me, Adam? Okay, if he doesn't reply to that, second follow-up. What happened, brother? Are you dead? Or something like that. What happened? The third follow-up, if they didn't respond to the first and the second follow-up either, you need to send them a valuable content asset or a sales asset or a case study or a testimonial. This is the biggest chance that they will reply if you send them something valuable. And the fourth emoji is like a funny gif, funny waiting emoji. If the guy likes funny things, then he'll more likely reply. Send them a content asset. First thing you say, have you had a chance to watch it? If he didn't reply to that either, you say still with me, And if he didn't reply to it either, then it's probably a lost lead. If you send them the calendar, have you been able to find a spot that fits your schedule? Because this is the oh shit, this is the friendliest way to ask if they booked in a meeting. It doesn't look, like scripted. This is one of the friendliest way. And of course, if he puts you on scene of, or if he doesn't respond, just again say still with me name, or still with me. And the last follow up, if they don't reply to these two either, then you say, your name, I have a crazy new offer specifically for your niche. Let's hop on a call and I'll show you the exact process. By saying this, you create a lot of curiosity in the prospect if they actually see your message, because they'll be like, oh shit, a completely new offer specifically for my niche. I need to see what this is about. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And the objection handling. This is a really good thing to write down. The objection handling. What is objection handling? If they ask about the price, if they ask about a guarantee, if they ask about the length of the program, if they say that they're already working with someone, if they say they already have everything in place, if they ask about the pricing structure, or if they ask about client results. And you can just, just write down everything, just answers to these questions. The best thing to do. Okay, once you have all these processes, written down, and you have them ready for your setter or for yourself, you need to actually look at the conversation. The conversation should be 50% a script and 50% personalization messages. Because if you only use a script and it's basically an interview, so like, how many appointments are you saying right now? 10. What's your closing rate? 20%. What's your goal? 20K per month. If you're like this interview vibe guy, they're not gonna respond, because they don't see any value in the conversation, and they feel like they feel like they're just being sold to. And that's not the feeling that we want to. What we need is, we need a step-by-step structure that we need to follow, but in between the questions that you need to ask, you need to have a personalization messaging process, basically. So if you have two questions that you need to ask, you're not going to jump from one to the other. What you need to do is ask your question, and just try to dig deeper, try to go deeper in the conversation, and only go to the next step, only go to the next question if you feel like it's necessary, if you feel like you know every single detail about the previous question. You're not going to just jump from question to question, because that's not natural. Your conversations need to have a flow. You can only have a flow if you're genuine, if you actually show feelings towards the prospect. That's the only way to do that. But either way, you need to have a structure that you follow like this. So first thing, the opener. Your opener needs to create enough curiosity for the prospect to reply you back. For example, hey name, would you be interested to learn more about how we can get you 90 to 120 qualified appointments in the next 30 days? Okay, it's a really simple opener, but the reason why it's really good is because we say, what happened? Is because we say that we're gonna get them 90 to 120 qualified appointments. Everybody wants to know how we're gonna get those appointments, because it sounds unreal, but it's possible. And if you explain it correctly, how is it possible? They'll hop on a call because they are curious. The only reason people hop on a call is either because they want to buy your product, or is because they are curious because of emotions. And 90% of the time, it's the second one. You need to create curiosity, you need to create emotions within your prospect. So you need to have different sides. For example, what if they say no, they don't want to learn? Then you have to come up with something to push them back to the yes. Man, I haven't even told you the craziest part yet. And they'll be like, okay, fine, what is it? And then you go to the yes. But what is the yes? If they say yes, you got two options. The first is to explain the offer, or the first is to start qualifying them. So basically, before I explain you the exact process, how many sales calls are you booking at the moment? And then you just go with the flow. Okay, you booked 20. Nice. How are you booking those 20? With ads, sellers? There's a lot of options to that. What if they say, let's say you have a one-time fee offer, so like 10K for 4 months. And if they say, only if it's commission based. That's a really good objection, and that's a really good objection. So you say it's a 10K upfront offer because it allows us to work with the best clients in the market. Cool if I explain you a bit more? Now what you did is you told them that it's not a commission based offer, but it's really good. Can I explain? If he says no, then you say, "You sure? I'm confident we can help you scale, brother. We have the best client results in the market." And then he says, "Tell me more." You send them case studies, and you just send them just proof, and create trust within the prospect. And if he likes it, you go back to the yes phase. So basically, everything we do, it directs the prospect back to the yes process. This is the main process that we focus on, the yes process. Anything else, we're just trying to drive back the prospect to the yes part. What if they say, that is a big statement that seems unreal? I agree, bro. Before I explain you more though, how many sales calls are you booking at the moment? Again, we asked this question previously. Let me just go out of this. We asked this question previously here. So that means that we drive them back to the main process. The model that I live by is that you cannot leave the lead, even if it's negative. What's the worst outcome? If they say no, what's the worst thing? If you just leave them as is, nothing's gonna happen. But what if you try? What if you actually try your best to turn their feelings around? Worst case scenario, they'll block you. What happens? Same thing, nothing. So what's the difference between them blocking you or you not giving a shit about trying to turn them around? Same thing, but you at least tried. You gave it a chance. And that's what you need to look for. So we have the yes process, and anytime they say something else than the yes process, we try to drive them back to the yes process. If they say no, I haven't even told you the craziest part, hear me out. It's gonna cost you 10 seconds to listen to what I have to say. And they say, okay, fine, because why wouldn't they say why not? It's 10 seconds of their life to read your offer. Okay, if you say this, before I explain you the exact process, how many sales calls are you booking at the moment? And instead of saying, I booked 20 appointments, they say, I don't have time, just tell me your offer. Then, based on the offer explanation that we did before, you can just copy paste it. It's really easy. You don't have to think, oh, how am I gonna turn his mind around? I don't know what to say. Oh my god. Just come here, copy paste, send a message. That's it. And if they like it, then you can just get yourself and come back to this process. Okay, so what happens? They tell you how many appointments are they booking right now. For me, the next thing that I need to know is they book 20 appointments. How many do they actually close? So you say, gotcha, man, that's a good number to start with, the 20 appointments, but we definitely got to scale that up. How many normally convert into clients? So again, it's not just an interview. You did some personalization. You replied to their previous message, and that's what makes it personalized. Because what a lot of people do is they just follow a script, and that's it. And of course, if you pay the big numbers, a couple of people are going to follow the script and they'll book in a call. But we don't want that. We want a genuine conversation. So when they hop on a call, they are pre-sold basically. And the only way to do that is by being personalized. They say something, and instead of you going to the next question, you try to dig deeper within the sentence that they said. So they said, okay, I booked 20 appointments per month now. Instead of saying how many normally convert into clients immediately, what you can say is, oh, that's very nice. And what processes have you been using to get those numbers? Have you been using ads, setters, maybe organic marketing? Just dig in deeper. Show them that you're listening to what they are saying, because that's the only way to create trust and proof within the prospect's body, and of course curiosity, what I previously said. So, like, as you can see, everything comes back to this part. You ask how many normally convert into clients. My closing rate is 20%, and X people convert into clients. Again, You say, that's amazing, G. What is your goal for the upcoming 3 months? You need to know your goals of your prospect because we have four phases in a conversation. The first is finding out the prospect's current state, finding out the prospect's desired state, telling them a solution to get from their current state to the desired state, and booking them in a meeting. This is the four phases that you need to look at when you're setting appointments. If you miss out even one of those, if you don't know their desired state or you don't know their current state, it's not going to work out because they need to see the vision that, okay, I'm booking 5 appointments right now, I want to book 40 appointments, so the gap is 35 appointments. And if you tell them a solution that's good enough to make them believe that it's possible to go from A to B, they'll hop on a call with you because they're curious to know how are you exactly doing that. So what is your goal? To reach 100K per month, to get X new clients. And then what you say is you agree. That's absolutely reasonable with the right acquisitions and systems. What is stopping you from hitting that number right now, bro? You need to ask what is not working right now to get to their goal. You need to know what is wrong within their business. Of course, they're going to get, there's some options: sales process, hiring closers, more appointments, lead generation, stock in fulfillment, or the service delivery. And and you just explain it. Optimizing the sales process is important to be able to convert the attention, especially with the growth specialists and the right closers. We got to fix that. Cool if you up on a quick chat. you know you brought up pain in their body, you talked about their pain points, and then you offered a call where you're talking about how you can fix that issue. And that way, they hop on a call because they are curious to know how can you fix their problems. Because if they don't see that, if they don't see the vision, they don't see the value, they don't feel the pain that they need to fix, they have literally no reason to hop on a call with you. But if they have that pain, if they know what you're doing by now, if they trust you because of the personalized messages, they have all the reasons to hop on a call with you. Once they say yes, let's hop on a call, before every single booked call, you need to send them a valuable content asset. The reason for that is let's say you have a VSL where you explain every single detail about your offer. If your prospect sees that video where you explain the exact process that he would go through if he paid for your program, and he still hops on a call, he still books in a meeting, he's not going to have any objections because he already knows everything about you and your business. And that's the really good part about this, is that they pre-sell themselves by watching your content. So it's not even a sales call, it's an onboarding call. Because what could be their objection? They watched your exact process, they know you, they watched your short form videos, they watched your stories, he watched everything, and he still hopped on, and he still booked in a call and hopped on the meeting. He's not gonna have any objections. All he's waiting to do is send you the money, and and just start the process and make him a bunch of money. So you're gonna say, before I send you the calendar though, watch this video, we give you a lot more clarity on what we do. Let me know afterwards if it's still worth the call for you, then I'll send it over. You send him the video, he says, I wanna book. Awesome, dude, here you go, insert calendar link. And if they booked in, then you're gonna say, saw you booked, excited to speak soon. You need to, even after they book in a call, you need to show them that you care about them. You need to show care to all of your prospects, even the ones that don't book in a call with you. In every single conversation, you need to send them a content asset, even if it's an unqualified lead, even if it's a person that's not gonna buy. You need to send them a content asset, because if they start watching your videos, over time they'll convert. And once they become qualified, the first person they're gonna go to, if they want to buy a program, it's gonna be you, because you were the one that gave them free value when they weren't qualified. And that's the good thing about this. You need to think long term. Even in appointment setting, you need to think long term. Okay, and 6 hours before the call, you need to send them a follow up, because even after the call, if you don't follow up with them, they could forget you, and we cannot let that happen. We made all this effort booking them in. We cannot lose them, literally at the finish line. So 6 hours before the call, you're gonna say, "Yo, just making sure you are set for the call today." That's it. Maybe if they book in, let's say 5 days from now, you should follow up with them in 2 or 3 days, not just before the call and not just after they booked their meeting, because there's a 5 day gap. They can forget you in those 5 days. So you need to make sure that they don't forget you. So you need to follow up at least once in those 5 days, in 2 or 3 days at least. So this is the process. You you need to write down the questions that you need to know from the prospects, and you need to follow those steps, but you don't need to strictly stick to them. So, like going from question to question, what you need to do is build up a relationship with your prospect. So, you ask your first question, and based on the response that they give you, you just need to have a flow. You just need to have a flow, create a flow that sounds genuine and that sounds like you actually care about the prospect. Because if you just, let's say, go from this question to this question to this question, and it sounds like an interview, nah, they'll put you on scene. They're gonna put you on scene without any doubts. So you need to ask your question, they say something, and then you start talking about the things that he said. So he said, "Yeah, I'm a little bit busy right now. I've been traveling, blah blah blah." Oh, nice. I've actually been traveling a lot in the recently as well. Where did you go? So start building up a relationship. So sometimes when you have the main process, you can you can go off script a little bit. It doesn't matter, as long as you can get back to the script. It's all good. But it's really crucial to be personalized and go off the script sometimes, to build up the genuine relationship with the prospect. That's why I'm saying 50% of the conversation should be personalized, and the other 50 should be the script. Because if it's all personalized, the prospect is going to get bored and he's just going to leave you on scene. And if it's an interview, because you're only asking questions, um, because of your qualifying process, he's going to put you on scene, because nobody wants to be in an interview in a DM conversation, obviously. And the follow-ups are really important, because if you don't use follow-ups, you'll miss on 70% of your income. Like, literally, what I always say is 70 or 80% of your sales are gonna be because of the follow-ups. Because a lot of people just forget leads. They forget that they messaged somebody yesterday. They forget that they didn't reply to a person. You always need to you use follow-ups. In every 24 hours, you need to scroll back in your DMs and check if you haven't followed up with somebody. Because if you don't do that, you're just gonna lose money. Who wants to lose money? Nobody. Use follow-ups based on the things that I said here. Opener follow-up. If they didn't reply to the to the opener, wait 24 hours and send them this follow-up. If they didn't reply to this follow-up, wait 24 hours again and use the second follow-up. If they didn't reply to this either, wait 24 hours, send them another follow-up, and go so on and on and on. Always wait 12 to 24 hours between a follow-up and the initial message, and that way you're not going to leave anybody out. So let's say you send out 60 messages today, you wait 24 hours, and you follow up with every single person that didn't reply. Every single person. You cannot leave a single person out when you're doing follow-ups. And what I usually do is, let's say it's the end of the month, I just scroll back the whole month. So like every single message, I scroll back and see if I by any chance I forgot to reply to somebody, or I just didn't follow up. And you just follow up with them at the end of the month. So if you do that, you follow up with every single person every single day, and then you just do a checkup at the end of every single month. You just cannot leave anybody out, because you're doing everything in your power to check if you left anybody hanging or seen or anything like that. So that's a process. Be personalized. Be Use the script, but be careful with the script, because you need to look like it's a genuine conversation. You cannot look like a robot or something. You need to show care. You need to show that you're genuine about the conversation, and And if you do everything right, if you use personalization, it's gonna work out because people love personalization. Because at the end of the day, people care about themselves. If you're in the conversation, you and me, and I start talking about myself, you get bored and you just leave the conversation. But if we talk about you and only you, you'll stay in the conversation because at the end of the day, people care about themselves, their results, their pain, their process, their growth. And if you talk about those specific things and not other people, not yourself, and this and that, because what a lot of people do is, let's say you are the prospect and you say, yeah, my closing rate is really bad. And then I say, oh yeah, a lot of the prospects that I speak to have the same issue. Who cares? Your prospect doesn't care about other prospects. He cares about himself. You need to reply with something that is towards the prospect, towards his pain points, towards his goals, towards his and anything that's about him. Do not talk about yourself. Do not talk about other people. Talk about the prospect. And when you have a genuine relationship, a genuine trust, then and only then start talking about yourself. Because it's not good either if you only talk about the prospect. You know everything about the prospect, but the prospect doesn't know anything about you. That's not good. They need to know stuff about you as well. But you can only start talking about yourself when your prospect has told you a lot of shit, and he already trusts you and there's already a good relationship. So if you want the same exact process implemented in your own business, in your own coaching business that's doing 5 to 15K per month, I have a really good hiring process as well. The next video is going to be about the hiring process. I'll explain everything, the step-by-step process on how to find a setter, how to train the setter, how to use the setter, how many messages to send, how to track the messages, everything about how to hire an appointment setter, how to train and how to manage an appointment setter. So subscribe to the channel and wait for the next video. And until then, if you want all this implemented, you want to scale your business from 5 15K to 50K per month and 60K per month, there's going to be a calendar link down below in the description. Book in a meeting. I'll walk you through the exact process on how we're going to do that, and we're going to make you a lot of money. That's all I can say. Like, these results, it's not even all the results. I just copied 6 results from my folder. So this is not all. This is just surface level client results. There's a lot more. So either book in a meeting or message me on Instagram, and I'll help you build up your dream business basically. See you in the next video, guys.